Right, okay, just want to thank everybody for joining us today. So let's kick things off. My name is Rich Dibbins and I'm the Commercial Integrations Manager here at InfoTrack. I am joined by a couple of people today. We've got Kelly Cutler, who's our Knowledge Manager. We've got Emma Wetherall, who's the Legal Clerk for Hewitt and a Linetime user. And very shortly, we'll be joined by Adam Bullion, who's the General Manager of Marketing at the Evolve Group. So why is everybody here today? Essentially, it's all around the AP1 and our integration. So let's kind of recap where things have gone and where they are today. April 2021, the Land Registry took a giant leap to moving away from paper-based processes. They launched the Electronic Digital Registration Service, or EDRS, if we need any more accurate acronyms within the legal sector. More than 100,000 applications have been received through this service. Requisitions on basic errors are down 25% and applications are processed and completed in half the time of uploading an application, meaning law firms will save time and reduce their risk. So from November this year, the Land Registry will no longer accept scanned or PDF copies of AP1s for changes to existing titles via their portal. However, good news, InfoTrack already has a solution in place and has done for some time. You'll be able to use our AP1 service, meaning no one needs to reinvent the wheel. Secondly, you can take advantage of the integration as our AP1 product, like other products, integrates back into Linetime, SOS and PracticeEvolve. We have users from all three case management systems with us today. Just going to pass you on to Kelly, who will walk you through these recent changes. If you do have a question, please just pop it in the Q&A for me, please, in the Q&A box, and we'll get those answered very shortly. It's about 30 minutes this, so grab your coffee, let's sit down, and without further ado, lastly, this is on demand, so you will receive a recording if you want to share it with your colleagues. So without further ado, I will pass you over to Kelly.
Hi everyone, thank you very much, Rich. So as Rich mentioned, I'm Kelly Cutler, I'm Knowledge Manager here at InfoTrack. I'm just going to run through the AP1 mandate, what that means and what the solutions are to you, and then we'll go into the InfoTrack solution. So I'm just going to stop my video because I'm sure everyone would rather see the presentation than my face. So bear with me just 1 second, switch screens. Right, okay, so I'm just going to run through the AP1 mandate. So from November 2022, we'll no longer accept scanned or PDF copies of AP1s for changes to existing titles using the Land Registry portal. Actually, at the moment, currently up to 80% of AP1 submissions involve uploading physical paper documents. So currently, current submissions are electronic applications known as the EDRS. This is a PDF or a scanned form which are uploaded onto the system for it to be read and reviewed by a caseworker as part of a manual process. We're now going to be moving to the new digital registration service, the DRS, and this is when information is added in as data in predefined fields. So capturing it this way allows the system to read the data and check for any errors. So no more EDRS, we're moving to the DRS. So why is the Land Registry going digital? Because of current manual process delays and costs, high number of requisitions, high volume of support calls, lack of requisition management tool, and to protect the register's data integrity. So what does it mean for the industry? It means quicker processing times, digitalization of the process, online guidance for submissions, fewer errors and reduction in requisitions, and it does mean opportunity for further innovation. So what things does a law firm need to consider? They need to consider change management, so change challenges. November 2022 is not long around the corner and it will be here before you know it, so don't get stuck in the backlog. You need to consider staff training catered to the individuals and ongoing real-time support as well. And from a productivity front, registrations will be digital only. So again, no more paper or PDF forms. Software suitability, so you need to consider your integrations and the ability to directly liaise with the caseworker. And then a compliance point of view. So audit trail and how to report to regulators, full firm visibility of all matters, including requisition management tool, and key dates automation. So what are your solutions? So the new digital process through the Land Registry DRS service, or a Land Registry partner integrated through the business gateway like InfoTrack. So just to give you some stats on InfoTrack, we are actually Land Registry's key business partner and biggest user. We've been doing digital AP1 since 2016. We have 6 years of continuous software improvement. We've reduced requisitions by up to 30%, and we do over 550,000 submissions a year, and that's actually nearing on 600,000 now. So what do digital AP1s by InfoTrack look like? You get full guidance and expert support for every application. You have form flexibility, so there's multiple forms in one application, such as shared ownership and staircasing matters. Integrated with leading CMS as well as lender panels. One-page form pre-populated and linked to HMRC's STLT5 and electronically signed deeds, and our unique AP1 dashboard, application overview, auditing tools, requisitions and cancellations. So looking ahead, what are we going to do? We're going to continue to invest in more experts for additional support. We're going to continue to expand our integration partners. We're going to add new lender management panels, and we're going to continue to reinvest back into the system. And there's just a testimonial from one of our long-standing clients who uses both STLT and AP1 through InfoTrack. I'm now going to move on to walking you through InfoTrack's end-to-end digital AP1 submission and management software. So bear with me while I just quickly switch screens. There we go. So the AP1 can be found in the post-completion workflow naturally sitting behind the STLT, where we similarly integrate with the HMRC, allowing you to digitally submit your stamp duty returns. And using both the post-completion services allows you to submit these in under 5 minutes. As I've mentioned, InfoTrack released our AP1 product back in 2016, and we continue to work very closely with the Land Registry to develop the business gateway services across the Land Registry services. What you see here is our latest AP1 software, which has been built with the aim to make your post-completion process faster, more accurate, and reduce the potential for unnecessary requisitions. So what we have here is our one-page smart interactive form. And like all InfoTrack products, your matter reference tells us about information already contained within your matter. So depending on whether you're accessing InfoTrack from a case management system or whether you have orders already placed with us, we can populate up to 90% of your AP1 for you. Put my matter in there. So it's really important when it comes to reducing the time it takes to complete your AP1, removing the need to rekey information and reducing the potential for missed information. On this matter, I've already ordered a register and submitted my STLT return. So as we work through the form, you'll be able to see how much information is already pre-populated for you. All required fields are asterisk, so you won't be able to submit your application with missing information. Registration type is our first required field. And for Land Registry portal customers, you should be used to selecting the registration type. But if you're unsure as to the registration type relevant to your application, head over to our FAQs for definitions, plus lots of other tips and tricks. Today, we're going to be running through a simple discharge, transfer and charge, affecting the whole of the title. So dealing is the relevant registration type. Our matter should have already pulled through, so bear with me 1 second. Just put that in, make sure that comes through. There we go. So loads, there we go. So the title's pulled through, and what we do here is we're able to verify the title automatically for you, and it shows the address, and it will show any pending registration status as well, reducing the risk of cancellation of your application due to an invalid title. We've also pre-populated the local authority and postcode, so now we can move on to selecting the priority applications we're looking to change the register with. So I'm simply going to drop down the list to see the wide range of application types easily identifiable with their form code and description, as you can see here. We'll also organise applications into common forms and form bundles, making it quick and easy to select common applications like discharge, transfer and charge. And just like most forms, our AP1 form is about working from left to right, top to bottom, and reviewing the information from your file and documents and completing the relevant fields. We also integrate with our Sign It for Deeds product. So where your deeds have been electronically signed, on selecting yes, we'll automatically look for and upload your conveyance's certificate into supporting documents. If your deeds are not electronically signed, then you can simply upload them here and confirm their certification. For those who are integrated with case management systems, you'll also be able to select files associated with this matter only. If you need to move the order in which your application type should be registered or removed from the title, simply drag and drop. There's no limit on the number of applications that you can submit in one AP1. If you can't find an application that matches your deed, you can simply select AP1, change the register, upload your deed and proceed to the next section. We'll automatically calculate your lead application fee using the pre-populated consideration value from your SDLT submission. So no need to use a fee scale or a calculator. We'll also automatically attach your SDLT5, reducing the risk of it being forgotten and a requisition being raised. Here in supporting documents, you're also able to upload any supporting file like consent forms, power of attorneys, countersigned documents, and so on in one place. Along the right-hand side too, we've added some handy guidance when completing the sections, plus tips to help reduce common requisitions. For new users that maybe started to submit without any prior knowledge of their paper AP1, these guides can really help users better understand the sections and the land registry's requirements. Now what I'm going to do is move on to the party details. Here we split what traditionally was panel 13. So basically we've put it into 3 manageable sections: applicants, proprietors and other parties. As missing or incorrect party information is a common cause of requisitions, we wanted to group the information in a way where you can move through the sections consciously, ticking off the required fields from left to right without having to jump around the form or clicking multiple pages. So as you can see here, the majority of the work is done for us. The applicant's name and the details of the lodging conveyancer are already pre-populated. We can also complete this applicant's role field because you've told us that you're lodging a transfer and charge. All that you need to do here is to simply enter the lender's details. So put those in. As you start typing, it will suggest relative banks and it will populate their address for their service too. We can also confirm our details as the lodging conveyancer. And if your firm's process is for support staff to create the AP1s and then conveyancers lodge the application, you can simply select the lodging conveyancers from a list of users within your firm here, and you can update their contact details here if needed. Now we move on to the proprietor section. We call it this because we know that there is a transfer being lodged, and so a registered proprietor will be a transferor. As we've ordered the register on this matter, we're able to populate the proprietor's names here. We're also able to populate the conveyancer's details from the SDLT submission and again associate the borrower roles for the discharge application and transfer for the transferor for the transfer. All we need to do here is enter the lender name. Santander. If there are any other parties within the application, they can also be entered under this section. So if you have power of attorney or beneficiary, you can select from the long list here. So as we've built the form, your left-hand panel will update with key information to help you review the information supplied as you go. In the associate application section, the task is to similarly review the application. We have the 2 borrowers and the lender for the discharge, the transferee and the 2 transferors for the TR1, and we have the borrower and the lender for the new charge. All that's left to do is to complete the address for service for the applicants. You can enter the address for service for each proprietor yourself, including their postal, email or DX address. We've defaulted disclosable overriding interest to no for ease and again to speed up the time it takes to complete the form. Here we have what I like to call an integration within an integration. So if you do use an LMS, you can link your application to your LMS case number and will automatically send them your submission receipt and then completion of registration details once your application is complete. And then moving on to our notes section, We have obviously form flexibility, so any information you need to let your caseworker know, you can put any information in here. We also integrate with our MR01 lodgement software, so we'll pre-populate the certification wording straight into the notes section for you here as well. Finally, here at the bottom of the form is where you can confirm the credentials used to submit the application. These should be stored in your InfoTrack settings, but on occasions where your land registry EDRS account changes, so you need to update your password, you can update them here as well. And you can also include any third-party recipient information here for all correspondence about this application. You simply select a colleague from the drop-down or select other user to manually enter the details. You can save and print, and what we'll do is we'll populate a paper AP1 form for you so you can review or download and print and share where required, and we'll of course send you an email over or send the file back to your case management. If you're happy to submit your application instead, we'll send your AP1 to the land registry. Instantly, we'll return a submission receipt showing your application's land registry reference, so you know that the application has made it to the day list and therefore has priority. I'm now going to head over to our dashboard to show you how you can manage your applications. So, as with everything, we have like a Big Brother overview on our InfoTrack platform. So with the AP1 dashboard, you can filter through your submissions using the headings along the top ribbon here, such as requisition acknowledged, cancelled, completed, etc. We also have this handy tool, this export feature, which will actually put all your submissions into a CSV file where you can filter through your submissions for any auditing purposes. If I select one where we have a requisition acknowledged, you'll basically have what we call is like a WhatsApp style chat. So you can free type to your caseworker and any messages they send back. You can obviously scroll up and down. You have full audit trail of all the messages that have been sent back and forth between you and your caseworker. You can also check the day list for any pending registrations against the title. You can look at any related files associated to that AP1. And again, you can add any additional recipients in for correspondence. Going back to the requisitions tab, we have some handy little tools, such as you can request further HMLR action should you need to. You can also add any internal notes. So if you're working on it with a colleague, you can let them know that it's being dealt with. And then to respond to the requisition, as well as free typing to the caseworker, we also have this handy feature called regenerate details. We know panel 13 is a real pain point, and it may be that there's spelling mistakes, the party roll is incorrect. So it's just simply amending those. And as you can see, it's putting it in a format we know the land registry is going to accept to prevent further requisitions happening. You can add any additional parties, and you can obviously upload any supporting documents as well. And again, as I said, you can free type as well. And along with the dashboard, we also have our handy calendar tool. So you can manage your OS priorities and your cancellation dates through here and have full overview, so you can be organised and you can know what's coming up. And that will take you straight into those AP1s from the calendar. And that's everything. Back to you, Rich.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that, Kelly. We've had a few questions popping in while you've been showing everybody the AP1 journey. First one, am I limited in the type of applications I can submit?
No, so you can submit a whole host of applications, just as long as they obviously correspond with your chosen registration type.
Excellent. Another one, is one user able to create an AP1 draft and then another user able to submit the application?
Yes, absolutely. One user can draft the AP1 and then another can go in and submit it.
Brilliant. Oh, here we have. Can you confirm if this integration should be working? Actually, this is probably going to be one for Adam when he joins us shortly. Denise, your question around working with PracticeEvolve integration, we'll cover that in about 5 minutes.
I'm on here, Rich.
Oh, that's right, Adam. We'll come on to that in a second because we're just going to speak with Emma shortly. A couple of more questions, Kelly, that have popped in. Can I cancel an application via InfoTrack?
Yes, you can cancel your application quickly and easily by the request action option. So following the drop downs, we'll even pre-populate the application's land registry reference number for you as well for clarity.
Excellent. And then lastly, am I limited to the number of titles I can submit in one AP1?
No, you're not limited.
That's brilliant. Denise will come on to your question very shortly. we're now going to bring on Emma Weatherall, who is a legal clerk with Hewitt. So Emma, if you can just, there we are. Wonderful. Emma is joining us today. So Emma, you're a Linetime user and a user of our AP1. So just in terms of your experience and the team, how does the two-way integration with Linetime help to streamline your workflow?
So everything's faster. It's just much more straightforward to now submit an AP1. There's a lot less scanning involved. Obviously now generally everything's already there waiting for me to just be able to upload it. And it makes managing submitting the AP1 a lot easier because you can see from that sort of requisition screen exactly where you are with your AP1. Brilliant.
Well, that's music to our ears, the fact that you're saving time and not having, we know conveyancers have been under a lot of stress over the last almost 2 years now. So saving them time and giving a little bit of time back is obviously crucial. How does being integrated with your case management submission and monitoring of your AP1 applications, how's that working out?
Well, again, it's so straightforward because everything's already there. The LMS integration is amazing because obviously that's just one less thing that you have to think about when you're doing an AP1 because it's already done. And everything just coming back into the case management system without you having to remember to open it and drag and drop it in because it's just there for you, makes life much more easy.
Gotta love it when technology works, right? Now, given that a large percentage of submissions is now pre-populated, leading to a higher level of confidence in the accuracy of your data, do you feel more confident that there will be a reduction in errors or raise requisitions?
I think we've definitely had a reduction in errors. I mean, we do still get requisitions, especially on some of our transfers apart, but it's less to do with sort of straightforward errors like name errors that you should have really picked up on, because obviously if it's come direct from the case management, you know that things like that are going to be correct, so it cuts down on all them requisitions that waste a lot of time, really.
Gotcha. And then lastly, obviously later this year the changes are going to come into play from November. What advice would you give to somebody in your position or your team's position who is still submitting their AP1s manually?
Yeah, see, I'm just really pleased that we have made the jump earlier and now we're all up to speed with using it, and we're not going to have that panic later on this year where you think, oh no, we need to start training everyone and learning out how to do these. We're already sort of submitting them like that anyway, and it's just going to carry on.
You're already ahead of the curve, which is music to our ears. Brilliant. Massive thank you, Emma, for your input and your team's input in this session today. Without further ado, we'll now jump over to Adam Bullion, the General Manager of Marketing, Evolve Group. Adam, shall we kick off with you answering Denise's question? Can you confirm if this integration is and should be working with PracticeEvolve?
Yes, so with PracticeEvolve, I will say that we are doing a little bit more work around the integration to make it a little bit more thorough. I think, sorry, I'll come off with, oh man, I'm unable to start my video. Sorry, I was going to start my video.
It's okay, I've just made you a co-host, so you should be able to turn your camera on.
Okay, because then people can see that I am actually dressed, working
there we are.
With a shirt on. Sorry, Denise. Yes, so this should be eminently achievable through the integration as it stands right now. I will say that we are improving that integration somewhat on with PracticeEvolve. I think with SOS and with Linetime, the integration works, and we perform the mapping as necessary to make sure that everything works.
Excellent. Thank you ever so much for that, Adam. Now, in terms of the integration overall across all three of them, what's been the feedback from the client base around the integrations?
It's great, actually. I mean, I must admit that you know, Rich, I worked at InfoTrack before joining PracticeEvolve. So, you know, full disclosure here, I'll always support what InfoTrack have done by moving way beyond just being a search business and actually providing good technology to conveyancers. And I think, you know, the ability to integrate and live within the case management system within SOS, PracticeEvolve and Linetime is really powerful for conveyancers. And the feedback that we've had is just that it makes their lives so much easier to conduct their day-to-day and reduces the administration burden on them, really.
And if Linetime SOS or a PE client was looking to kickstart the integration process, what do they need to do? What's involved in it?
So generally, it's really the mappings that you know, really the process is the client will let us know that they you know, contact support and say we want the integration to go ahead. We will then work both with InfoTrack and the client to arrange sort of the mappings to be done, and that's relatively straightforward. We will do that on behalf of the client or with the client, depending on how the client wants to work. And then I think InfoTrack will arrange training with the client, obviously, to make sure that they're aware of exactly how it works. And then you're pretty good to go. So it doesn't have to be a very long process either. You know, we can have people up and running within 2 weeks. It just depends on how hungry and how hungry the client is to get going with it.
And obviously, probably a burning question on a lot of people's lips is the commercials around this. What's all this going to cost?
Yeah, that's a question that came back a number of times when we started doing this with Linetime, actually. Realistically, the charge for the integration, there is work on both sides to be done. And realistically, you know, this is a £5,000 sort of integration charge that could be made. But in fact, we waive that charge. We don't charge anyone for it because that falls nicely into our own pricing model that people are now aware of, which is whole system pricing. So we don't charge for the integration, and neither do InfoTrack. We think that it's much better for people to be using more of the system. In fact, part of our you know, we're looking at the market as being providing software with a service, and that service is formulated of competency. So how well people know the system, how deep they know the system. We know only you know, up to 40% of any software is utilized. Well, we want to increase that. And secondly, connectivity. So connecting softwares together is really crucial for clients. So for just a seamless experience. All of those, they're all form part of our whole product pricing. So there's absolutely no charge to make the integration actually happen and start using it. And obviously you just then pay InfoTrack on the, you know, pay as you go model, really.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Thank you very much for those insights, Adam. Kelly, I know you're still with us. We had a question in and we knew this would probably pop up. Is there going to be more integration with Wells/LTTs?
Yes, we have had that one a couple of times. Yeah, look, it's something we would love to do. I'll be discussing it with the product team. So yeah, just watch this space, I think.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. If you are looking to explore the AP1 or the integration further, as Adam mentioned, you can get in touch with Linetime SOS or PracticeEvolve, or you can email us, sales@infotrack.co.uk, and we can basically kickstart that aspect for you. I'm just about to press the go button in the message. This shows 2 videos, the SOS and Linetime integration video, so you can see how it actually works. Now, this isn't Hollywood blockbuster, but it's about 2 minutes. Go and grab a coffee, watch the video. It will give you a bit of insight into how the integration works. We're just coming up to 11:30. If there's no further questions, I just want to say a massive thank you to Kelly, to Emma, and to Adam for joining us today on this Integration AP1 webinar. Stay tuned for more webinars from the InfoTrack team, and thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Kelly.
Thank you.